You ever feel like life was trying to bury you alive? Like every time you took a breath, someone was waiting to smother it with lies, doubt, and betrayal? They didn't just walk away, they watched you fall. They didn't just throw dirt on your name, they prayed it would cover you for good. But what they didn't know is that God doesn't let graves define his children. He lets the dirt fall. Yes, but not to bury you, to plant you, to root you, to prepare you. They thought it was your ending. God was just beginning. They laughed when you stumbled, whispered behind your back when you were at your lowest, not because they were better, but because it made them feel bigger. They saw your pain and called it weakness. They saw your silence and thought it was surrender, but it wasn't. It was survival. And deep down, they needed to believe you wouldn't rise, because your rise meant they'd have to face what they gave up on in themselves. Every insult, every rumor, every backstab, they thought it would destroy you. They mocked your faith, rolled their eyes at your dreams, told you to get real and stay in your place. They didn't see potential in you. They saw a threat, and threats need to be silenced, right? So they threw dirt, not just with their words, but their actions, with their absence when you needed them, with their betrayal when you trusted them, with their applause when you failed, and their silence when you succeeded. They didn't care if you broke. In fact, they hoped you would, because a broken you, that's comfortable for them. A you that's healing, dangerous. A you that's growing, unbearable. They wanted your spirit crushed, your light dimmed, your heart hardened into bitterness, because that's where they live, in the land of bitterness. They wanted company, but what they didn't know is that every time they tried to bury you deeper, God was watching. He saw the smirks, he heard the laughter, he caught every stone they threw. And while they were busy digging your grave, God was preparing your garden. They thought they buried you, but they didn't know God was planting something powerful. See, there's a difference. Buried things stay dead, but planted things grow. And what they meant to cover, God meant to cultivate. That dirt they threw, it became your soil. The lies, the hate, the betrayal, they fed your roots. They gave you something to push against, something to grow through. You were never meant to stay down there. The darkness wasn't your end, it was your beginning. Growth doesn't start in the light, it starts in silence, in isolation, in pain. When the noise fades and all you've got left is you and God, that's where it began. That's where you started to change. You stopped begging for validation, stopped chasing people who never clapped when you won. You stopped explaining yourself to those who were committed to misunderstanding you. The dirt taught you, it showed you the truth, who was real, who was fake, who only stayed when it was easy, who vanished when the light went out. And the deeper they tried to bury you, the stronger your roots grew. You learned to depend on God, not applause. You learned that silence isn't empty, it's sacred. That rejection isn't failure, it's redirection. You started realizing that God allowed the dirt not to destroy you, but to hide you, to protect what was growing, to keep you covered while he worked. They looked at you and saw a grave, but God saw a garden. They thought they ended you, but God was just getting started. You weren't buried, you were planted, and now you're about to bloom in front of the ones who swore you'd never rise. No one talks about what it feels like to grow in the dark. It's lonely, it's silent, and it hurts. There's no applause in that place. No support, no keep going messages, just you and the weight of what's trying to crush you. But that's where God does his best work. You cried, but no one saw. You broke, but had to keep moving. You smiled in public and shattered in private. People thought you were fine. You weren't, but you survived anyway. That's the part they never understand. Growth didn't come from comfort. It came from chaos. From those long nights where your pillow caught the truth no one else did. And slowly, something started shifting. You stopped looking for hands to pull you up. You started using your own. You stopped hoping they'd check in. You checked yourself. You started listening to the voice inside, the one God was refining, the one they tried to silence. The roots went deep, deeper than the pain, deeper than the lies. That's why you didn't break. That's why you didn't stay down. They thought you were fragile. They didn't realize your strength was growing underground. God was shaping you when no one else saw it, teaching you patience, resilience, faith, showing you how to walk by spirit, not by sight, how to pray when it felt pointless, how to move when every step felt heavy. You didn't just grow, you transformed. And all this time, while they thought you were fading, you were becoming something unrecognizable, something stronger, sharper, clearer. They thought they erased you, but really, they erased the version of you that needed them, the version that tolerated less than you deserved. The new you? Unstoppable. You don't break like you used to. Don't beg. Don't chase. You're built different now. Built from pain, from prayers, from pressure. That's why they won't recognize you. You're not who they left behind. They left. And that's exactly how it was meant to be. They didn't see it coming, the shift, the strength, the fire. They thought you'd stay broken, stay quiet, stay lost, but you didn't. You got back up. Not loud, not dramatic, just steady, focused, changed. You started moving different, started seeing through people, through fake smiles, through empty words, the same ones who left you behind. Now they're circling back, acting like they always believed, like they never doubted. But you remember who disappeared when things got dark, who watched you fall and said nothing, who stayed silent when you were screaming inside. Now they don't know what to do with you. You don't need their approval. You don't seek their praise. You've learned how to walk alone, how to clap for yourself, how to move without an audience. And that scares them because you've become someone they can't control, someone who's not looking back. You stopped apologizing for growing, for healing, for wanting more. They call it pride, but it's not. It's boundaries, it's self-worth. It's knowing that the old version of you tolerated too much, gave too much, stayed too long, and now that you've shifted, they can't reach you like they used to. They'll say you changed, and you did. That was the point. Growth requires distance. Healing requires space. And the shift they didn't expect, it was necessary. You outgrew their comfort zones, outgrew the box they put you in. They tried to dim your light, but now it's too bright. They can't ignore it, can't deny it. You're not angry, you're aware, not bitter, just better. And they're watching, confused, shaken, because everything they did to break you only woke you up. Everything they threw at you, God used it. Every lie, He turned it into wisdom. Every betrayal, He used it to strengthen your discernment. Every rejection, He made it redirection. They tried to bury you in shame, but God turned it into purpose. They tried to shut your mouth, but He gave you a voice. They thought the dirt would kill you, but God turned it into foundation. What they meant for evil, He flipped for your good. You didn't just survive the dirt, you learned how to grow in it, how to use it, how to rise above it. God saw every moment, every lonely night, every tear that soaked your pillow. He saw the heartbreak they caused. He saw the exhaustion in your eyes when you had to pretend to be okay. And he didn't forget. He didn't miss a single detail. The dirt didn't bury your promise. It prepared you for it. It humbled you, refined you, made you depend on him more than ever before. And in that dependence, he revealed himself, not in lightning, not in thunder, but in quiet strength, in steady healing, in peace that didn't make sense. You stopped needing closure, stopped needing apologies. You realized God was enough, that your worth was never in their words, that your purpose didn't need their permission. And the more they threw, the more he built, stone by stone, layer by layer, deeper roots, stronger foundation. That's how God works. He doesn't remove the storm. He trains you to walk through it. He doesn't stop the dirt from falling. He teaches you to use it. That's why you're different now. Not just tougher, but wiser. Not just smarter, but more grounded. They thought they were throwing you away, but God was positioning you, preparing you, elevating you, and now the same dirt they used against you, it's beneath your feet, holding you up, lifting you higher, because when God builds, he uses everything, even the pain, even the betrayal, even the dirt. Now they have to watch the same people who doubted you, who left you, who laughed when you fell. They're watching you bloom, and they can't stop it. That's the part that burns them most. Your growth is public now. Your elevation, unstoppable. God didn't just raise you, he made sure they had a front row seat. They prayed for your downfall. Now they're silent. They tried to dim your light. Now it blinds them. They threw dirt on you, and now it's blooming into something too beautiful for them to ignore. That's what God does. He turns shame into strength, pain into platform, dirt into destiny. And it's not revenge you're after, it's revelation. You don't want to hurt them. You just want them to see what they walked away from, what they underestimated, what they tried to destroy. You're not bitter, you're blooming, not loud, not petty, just real. And that's what hurts them most, because they can't spin this, can't control it, can't claim it. They weren't there when you struggled, when you prayed through pain, when you fought battles they never even knew about. They don't deserve credit, but now they want to come back around with smiles, with "I always knew." But you remember who stayed quiet, who stayed gone, who didn't clap when you were crawling. God didn't elevate you to impress them. He did it to fulfill his promise. He did it because you kept going. When it was hard, when it was lonely, when it didn't make sense, you didn't quit, and now the harvest is here. The season is shifting, and the bloom can't be hidden anymore. Let them watch. Let them stare. Let them feel it. This is what grace looks like. This is what favor feels like. And none of it came easy. Every flower grew from pain. Every bloom came from brokenness. But you're still here, still rising, still blooming, and now they can't ignore you. They thought it was over, thought they had the final word. But here's the punchline. They never had the pen. God was writing your story the whole time, in every chapter they tried to end. He turned into a plot twist. They buried you, but you rose. They walked away, but you kept walking. They mocked your faith, but you held on. And now, they have to live with it, with the truth that you didn't just survive. You became something greater, something stronger. The pain didn't destroy you, it revealed you. The dirt didn't cover you, it crowned you. Let them talk. Let them question. Let them whisper. You're done explaining, done proving, done chasing closure. Your success is your answer. Your peace is your proof. Your rise, that's the revenge they never saw coming. Because in the end, they threw dirt on you, but God used it to grow you.